Okay, so now we'll get into the part that the boys like. This is the favorite part for the boys. So we'll talk about the downlines and how the downlines work. And so this is why the bloodline of God is so important, right? Like everything we touch has something associated with it. So positive or negative. And like it doesn't just have to be like anything we touch, but like any interaction with us, right? Like if you do something to hurt us, you're gonna get hurt. If you do something positive for us, something positive happens to you, right? That's why everybody wants to be part of the bloodline of God, right? That's why. It's not just, ooh, I'm bloodline of God when you're not. Like you can't just make it up, right? So positive and negative. And it's not just me that everything we touch has something associated with it. It starts at the top and it goes down, right? So most concentrated at me and my males at the top. It's not all about me. And then as it goes down, it kind of like is less so. But not always, because depending on who you marry and how you work it, how you work your downline, you might be able to pull some good deals. So females don't ever take care of babies, and all the males always trying to keep the babies away from the females, like as much as possible. Not just because like we're dangerous, but something in our mind wants to use the babies as pawns, like use them to get stuff, and it's not good. They need to go live their baby lives. Go live your life. So yeah, it's the same thing for me. So there's me at the top, the yellow circle, and then my males. And the same thing happens to them. So anything positive, like that's done to them, something positive happens for someone else, right? I don't know. I guess you can think about it as like accumulated karma or something like that. Because like it's not just resources like this downline, right? Like it's other things too. Sure, Jan. But okay, so it's better to have as many babies as possible, because then you have more of a downline, right? So anything positive that happens to like your son, it's I don't know how to explain, like a karma thing. I don't know. It happens to you too. It just sort of like comes, and I don't really know, like taking resources from the environment, but that doesn't seem like the right thing to say. It's just sort of like a holy thing. And remember, so anything that's done to these babies, see the ones at the bottom? Like, so let's say someone does something nice for one of the babies, then they get something in return. Like, it's not like we give. Like, we can't give anything to people. But the universe just conforms, right? In that way. Same thing as if you hurt them. If you hurt the bloodline of God, the universe just conforms to give you something bad in return, right? They're freaking out right now. I can hear them. So it's beneficial for my males to have as many children as possible. They're downlines. And the same thing. So see how it kind of gets concentrated right at the top? So it just goes up, up, up. And it's just the same as like you want positive things. If there's like a bad egg in there somewhere, you want to take them out as fast as possible, because like if that one goes around doing like bad things or hurting your downline, then like it hurts your downline. It's not a good thing. So you just take them out. Like, I know people think it's like Game of Thrones or like Hunger Games, but it's not. Like, that's like a negative spin to it. It's just like, I don't know, like it hurts everybody, like if to have like a bad egg, right? So you just take them out. And so Kimball's really the only one of my males who's supposed to have females. Like sometimes other ones get away, but it's Kimball's right to be the only one who has females. And so that's a real concentrated downline and a pretty easy one to manage, because there's so many more boys than there are girls, right? So that's a concentrated small downline. If he sees like, oh, here, maybe I got, yeah. So if he sees like a female doing something he doesn't like, then takes them out, because that hurts his downline. Yeah, sometimes it's just like embarrassment. Like if you embarrass him, because Kimball is Kimball, like, you know his position. So to have a daughter walking around like doing things that he doesn't like, that's embarrassing. Hurts his downline. Gone. And okay, so I'll give you examples. So let's say I have this male and he's not pure-blooded. So the pure-blooded ones cannot act against me. It's not possible, right? That's why it's concentrated at the top. So pure-blooded ones they don't even have to think. They don't have to calculate. They don't have to, maneuver. They just are. They just wander through life like a bunch of idiots, because we don't have to think. We're not dumb, but, we're not the brightest sometimes. But anyways, okay, so in this example, he, this guy's not pure-blooded, let's say, for example. Let's say, like, he's got, like, a big downline. Like, let's say he's been around for a long time, maybe even thousands of years. But then he does something against me, his whole downline gone. So that means generation after generation after generation of his children, his whole bloodline gone. See that? So let's say like one of his great-grandchildren has a wife and a wife who loves him so much. Well, it doesn't matter, because now he's gone, because his great-grandfather did something wrong to the bloodline. Gone. To see, she's crying. Broken heart. He might not have even done anything, but you got your whole downline riding on your back. Okay? Serious. What was this example? Okay, so in this example, so that's just in relation to me. So this is direct bloodline, one of Kimball's daughters, the pink circle. And she's got all these males, and then the males have their males, and they got their downline. Okay? And then the one on the right does something against his wife. Same thing. Because that's direct bloodline to God. Done. And like sometimes we take them out, but sometimes they just take themselves out. We don't have to do anything. Isn't that insane? We don't have to go out hunting. Nope. It just happens. Drop dead. See how serious that is? This whole, okay, like, come, you kill yourself and your entire bloodline. All those families. Done. You want to try that. And same thing against me. So let's say that male didn't do anything against his wife, but he did something against me. Whole bloodline gone. Whole bloodline gone. And then a really embarrassed wife. Okay, so say you're like an unmated male, just like going through the universe. And there are so few males that are unwanted. Okay, because, well, there's so few females, but they want as many males as possible. And so, like, a male that's unwanted, it's not, like, unheard of, but, yeah, There's so few of them. So let's say this male, unmated male, it's a really hot male, everyone wants him. So he's got all these females. Now, would that actually happen? Like, I'm not really sure, because there's so few females that a male might go his whole lifetime and not even see a female, not even know what a female of his species looks like. Have no clue even what they look like. I mean, now, like, send pictures sometimes, like, it depends on, like, the environment, but sometimes they could go through their whole life. And it's a serious business to pick your wife. Because if your wife acts against God, you're done for. So this pink one? So he can go to this pink one, and she's like, it's not like offering a position. It doesn't really work like that. But let's say this is like a newer female. The first one with like 2 males already, right? She's like newer, not really established. And let's say she's not a direct bloodline of God, but she's somewhere like, down the line somewhere, right? And she might be able to, like, if he took with her, then he gets full access. Like, that's like front row access to your wife. Like, you get to be with her like all the time, right? So that's like a really good position. That's like top of the line position. But let's say this one, like one of Kimball's daughters, let's say he wants to go with that female. She can't act against me. So if his wife can't act against me, and as long as he doesn't go against his wife, he could live forever. Do you see that? Forever. And not only that, he starts a downline. Then he's got his downline. Same thing. But the first one, like, he could have like more access to like his wife if he picks the first one. But that's why it's life or death, like which female he picks. Because if he picks not a good wife, is end of the road for him. But if he gets one from the bloodline of God, that's like, as long as you don't do anything stupid, you live forever. So you see how like this, like the gay mentality that's like going around, like, oh, females should do for us. We should go and do whatever, and females are just for reproducing, right? All that stuff. So that wouldn't be a bloodline of God, someone doing that. All they're doing is like killing all the people who aren't pure-blooded. Do you see what I mean? It's like it doesn't really like affect us, but it kills like everybody else. That kind of mentality. So yeah, then you start your downline. Yeah, that's what the boys like. I don't know how they do it, and then they like, so each one of, like, each female can have like 1,000 babies in like a week, right? Do you know how many babies 1,000 babies is? That's a lot of babies. That's a lot of downline. But like some of them, I don't know, everyone sets up their their family differently, but some of them they're like, ooh, I got this baby, let's see where I'm gonna put him. Not us, because we have too many, so we're just like, take them. But every once in a while they're kind of like, ooh, where am I gonna put this baby, right? Because the babies come out, especially if they come from me, that's direct bloodline of God, and that's everything they touch, right? You're taking care of one of our babies. Big, big positive. You're not taking care of one of our babies. Big negative. Right? That's the downline.